Om Shri Sai Ram, offering our collective salutations to the Almighty, respected elders, devotees from across the globe, staff and students. Sai Ram, good morning and a warm welcome to the One World, One Family World Cultural Festival. The French philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau once said, "What wisdom can you find that is greater than kindness?" Sadhguru has exemplified this wisdom through his life, showing that true greatness lies not in power or possession, but in compassion and service. When love becomes our guiding force, every action turns divine, and every life becomes a light to others. As part of the Universal Wisdom for United World lecture series, we are honored to welcome Professor H.S. Bhatia, a distinguished scientist, academician, and interfaith advocate. Professor Bhatia has served as a DRDO scientist in radar systems research and development for defense, contributing significantly to the nation's technological advancement and security. He has also held esteemed academic positions as professor, head of department, and principal at KNS Institute of Technology, Bangalore, guiding young minds with both technical expertise and human values. Beyond his professional achievements, Professor Bhatia is deeply involved in promoting interfaith harmony and community service. He serves as an active member in interreligious forums, state secretary at Gurudwara Sri Guru Singh Sabha, Bangalore, and a resource person on Sikhism, sharing the timeless teachings of Guru Nanak and the Sikh tradition. Today, he joins us to share his insights on how the wisdom of faiths can unite humanity, reminding us that knowledge, when guided by values, becomes a force for peace, harmony, and universal brotherhood. Professor H.S. Bhatia, please.
Let me at the outset wish you the way we Sikh wish each other, that has got the same common thing, remembering the God. We say, Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh. The Khalsa, the pure one, the pious people belong to the God, and anything what we achieve in this world as achievement with the grace of God is also attributed to Him. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh. I am really delighted to be here on this very happy occasion when we are celebrating the World Family Day. I'll start with the first words from Sri Guru Granth Sahib, which is also from Guru Nanak, which really gives the foundation of oneness of the mankind and also gives the direction how a family should be there, what family and how do we really live. एक ओंकार सतनाम कर्ता पुरख निर्भव निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त अजूनी सैम गुर प्रसाद. Then जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच. God is only one and only one. There is no parallel to Him. He is the truth. He is the only one who is the truth. And He is a created person. He only has a capacity to create. He is beyond fear, beyond enmity. He is beyond time, and He does not take birth. And He Himself has created such the truth. Let us meditate on Him. He was true before anything was there. He is true among all the ages, and He will be true even when there is nothing. Now you see the very powerful word which He has used in this one, Ekyomkar. The God is one and only one. And He is a creator person. He only has capacity to create the whole thing, everything He has created. And after His creation, He abides in His creation as a spirit. So if this is a common for all the humanity of the whole creation, that He abides in Himself, then this creation has to be one only. We have no right to distinguish among them. On different places in Guru Granth Sahib, in the teachings from the Sikh way of life, Bhakt Kabir in Guru Granth Sahib says, Aval Allah Noor Upaya, Kudrat ke sab bande, ek noor te sab jag upja, kaun bhale ko bande. If the God has created everything and His own spirit abides in everything, everyone belongs to this one universality, then who is the bad, who is the बैरी, who is the enemy, who is the others, सगल संग हमको बने आई. Guru says, ना को बैरी नहीं बेगाना, सगल कला हमको बने आई. Guru also says very clearly that जेतु टुट्ठा कृपा निधान दूजा ना बेकाल. O God, if you are really merciful to me and you are having grace on me, let me not have the concept of others. And the prayers also says very clearly, Kudrat ke sab bande ek noor te sab jagupya kaun bhale ko mande. Guru also says, koi bole Ram Ram, koi khudaye, koi seve gusaiya, koi alai. One may remember him as a God, some Allah, some God, makes no difference. He is the one who is serving him is also the same, the one who is being served also is the same. That very the question of distinction. Just like we have a flowers, when we bind with the small dhaga, the twine inside, it becomes a mala, and that only is a beautiful, and this joining force is the spirit of the God within that. This is how the Guru says about the oneness of the mankind, and one fatherhood of the God, and the motherhood of nature. These are the three basic things on that. God has created as a Brahma. He is the one who is a Vishnu, who takes care of his creation, and your account also will be taken by the third deity. These are nothing other than, these are the three attributes of the God. These are some of the basics on which the Sikh way of life says that every human being has to be treated one and one only, because they are same in the spirit. Second aspect, you say, whatever God has given us, we are all co-sharer. He has given us abundance. We don't have to worry. We don't have to be greedy. For every one of us, the God has created a lot for us. We are only co-sharer. And that's why the Sikh way of life, from the teaching, there are two aspects of Sikh spirituality. One is what we call Naam, the another is Kirpan. Naam is all what the God is. All those attributes, when you combine them and you put them together, that becomes a Naam. Naam includes the three margas, which we know from the Bhagavad Gita also, Bhakti Marg, the Gyan Marg, and also what we say that the Karma Marga. Lord Krishna says there that you follow anyone with the sincerity, and I am there with you. You will find me, you will achieve me. Here what happened in Bhakti Marga, Gurus has only empathy, says that Bhakti Marga says the surrendering to the will and the commandment of your Supreme. But only thing is, in this process, you may think that on the way that so and so is very powerful, so and so is knowledgeable, so and so is this one. You surrender without any this one. No. Surrender has to be there with this reverence that I am going to get myself elevated through the knowledge which is coming from there, through the empowerment which is coming from the Guru. That is the type of surrendering we are. So Bhakti Marg is there. Bhakti Marg says that you have to get up in the morning, sit in a meditation, in the presence of the God, and also take that knowledge and distribute that knowledge. That is one aspect of the human life. That is spiritual part of it. That is the Naam Marga. You have to be on the Naam Marga, no doubt about it. Karma marga means you do the karmas because whatever good karmas you do, you will be rewarded accordingly. If you are doing bad karma, you have to face that. But the Supreme Lord, the God, Rajo, Tamo, Sato, we are binded by three gunas. That's what Guru Granth Sahib, the Guru says from the Sikh life. Tre gunte prabhu bhin, jise bhujaye nanka, jis hove suprasan. He is not binded by any of these gunas. He is above this. Having these things also, he is above that. Just like in this colorless night, all the colors are there. Science student will definitely know that we can split into the 7 different colors and we can combine that. In this colorlessness also, all the colors are there. And in this colors also, that is abiding. Still is above color. So same is the case with the Supreme Lord God. Having all the attributes is above that. And if we start acquiring the attribute of the Supreme Lord, we may not be the God, but will become God-like. Humanity is meant for that, we become God-like. And once we are God-like, the other aspect which is coming, with reference to the family point of view, say, as a creator, he abides in you as a spirit. He is also Nirbho and Nirvair. So for you to become Nirbho, beyond fear, and you don't give fear to anyone, hukum hua mere banda, koi na dise irvamna, sarv khali butiyan. None has got a right to dominate. None has got a right as a human being to exploit others. The Guru is very clearly and put a path for that. Hak paraya nanka usur us gaye. Addressing to the Hindu community, he says that if you are snatching somebody's right, then it is like eating cow. If you are a Muslim and you are snatching somebody's right, it is as good as you are eating pork. So like that he talks. Though there is no exploitation required, we are all co-sharer, we should not snatch anybody's right. So for that the Gurus have given a path which will lead to the family life is a kirt kara. Own your own livelihood by honest endeavor and hard work. You should not snatch. You should have faith in yourself, your capabilities, and faith in the God that who has created you will take care of you and you will be able to get success and earn your own livelihood. Out of this earning of your livelihood, you are going to share with others. Share, no charity. Because in the charity, the concept is whosoever is giving always think that I am the giver. Giver is only one. We are only the channel. He has only empowered us that we have to help to others. And that time when you are helping also, you should be needy and also with the prayers that today, oh God, you have empowered me to help others. You also empower him or her so that tomorrow they can be at the service of the mankind. So that is the second aspect. And out of that, this thing. So these are the three basic principles on which you work. Now coming to the second aspect, which is very important for this one, because when we talk about family, family has to be united together. It should be ethical way of living it. And that for that basis, there is a two aspect which Gurus have brought to become godlike, that you should be nirbho. If you see anything wrong, if you are nirbho only, without fear only, you don't have fear, you don't give fear to anyone, then what is going to happen? You can raise voice against the wrong. If you are able to raise the voice against wrong, fine. If that is not sufficient, you should be able to fight for the right one. And if you are not able to succeed in that, you should be able to sacrifice your life because you don't have even the so-called fear of death, because anyway it is going to come. So that is one area. Second then, nirvair, now you take even the sword in your hand. You fight. When you are fighting it, two things are required. This is given to remind you that you are fighting for the right only, not for your personal benefits or anything. And if the need arises, you can sacrifice your life. So these two aspects, if you take the nirvo and nirvair without enmity, you are fighting for the right one. You see that each one of these godly qualities, if through the meditating on God's name, you get into this one, ethical society will be automatically formed. And this is where the most important when we talk about the word as one family. If we have to live in this world as one family, the family of the God, where the kingdom of God is established, the Ram Raj is there, or the Khalsa Raj is there from the Sikh perspective, this is what we are the love, affection, compassion, all these virtues, caring, sharing, everything is existing, and we are co-sharer, helping each other, having love and affection. This is automatically get formed. So what is most important from the Sikh perspective is only this. Whatever is there in our religions, our faith, irrespective of what we follow, these basic principles are definitely there. Words may be different, but the path is same. Because spirituality based upon the truth, and truth is nothing other, neither it is new, nor it is old, nor it can be changed. It is one and only one. If we follow these two things, so Gurus made this compulsory for the Sikh way of life by having Shakti and Bhakti together. Bhakti for to be on the spiritual path, and Shakti is also a temporal power which God's grace we have achieved in this world. That should be used for, once again, the welfare of the society. And that's why our prayers also, morning and evening when we pray, the last word of the prayer is Nanak Naam Chardi Kala Tere Bhane Sarvat Dabala. And Nanak says, O Supreme Lord the God, your name is the Supreme One. Because of that, let under your command and under your will, let there be the welfare of everyone. हर जियो तू सुख संपैत रास राख लो पाई मेरे को प्रभ आगे अरदास. Not only I pray for myself, the prayer has to be that my all other brothers, all my sisters, all other your creation, they also with your own merciful hand save them and help them. This is the drishti what we have to have in this life. Now coming to some of the aspect, when we say Shakti and Bhakti, that's why Sikhs are given this Sarup. The way we are created by God, we have to live in that fashion so that we are always remembered that we are committed to the will and the commandment of the God. Because God wants us to be like a human being. Kar bande tu bandagi. We have born with this thing imbibed in us as His commandment, that we have to live like a insan. We have to live like a human being. And human being, all qualities are spine, which are nothing other than the divine quality to some, because we are the reflection. We are the image of that Supreme Lord. The way Father is, the Son has to be like that only. Children have to be like that. If we have to like Him, we need to abide those virtue qualities. So those qualities are achieved by meditating on God's name. The more and more you meditate on Him, more and more those qualities will pour in you. And you will become godlike. That's why Guru very clearly says that, Sacho, no doubt the truth is highest of all. But still higher than that is the truthful living. If we can live the life a truthful person has to live, and a godly person has to live, automatically that is higher than the God Himself. That's what Guru is defined. And for that, the Gurus have given these two things, Shakti and Bhakti together, and combine them together. Bhakti for making yourself pure and pious within, and Bhakti, Shakti for whatever power you have achieved to use for the welfare. Guru also says very clearly on this aspect, which has to be followed, and that is your whatever is there in the theory need to be practiced. Practice is very, very important. For example, I will just quote few of the things from the life sketch of the Guru Nanak himself. He went to Makkah and Medina, and he was putting his feet towards Makkah, the shrine. And he was sleeping. The Qaji came and banged him left and right. He said, "You are kafir. You have done this big sin." "What is it?" He says, "I done. I am tired. I am just sleeping." He said, "Nothing. You have put the legs towards this." He says, where there is the house of the God, Allah ka ghar hai. He says, okay, can you help me? You put my legs in that direction where the God is not there. It says that when he touched his feet and tried to revolve, he saw the Makkah revolving. The message was common. He didn't argue with him. He only wanted to say, the God is everywhere. You also say that Allah is everywhere, but why you say he is only confined to the mosque? It is only confined to the temple. It is not confined, he is everywhere. Whatever God has created, he abides in that. If you can see God everywhere, if you can't see God everywhere, you can't see him anywhere. He went to, for another example I will give you from his teaching, he went to the Haridwar. He saw, because my friend told me today morning I should tell you one or two stories from his life to convey that the message coming from the Sikh way of life for the one word, one family or oneness of the mankind. He saw some of the Brahmins taking water and offering to the God. He asked them, what is it you are doing? He says, we are offering this water to the sun God because our forefathers, this will reach there. Immediately Guru Nanak turned his head towards opposite direction. He started taking water and he started pouring. They asked me, what is it you are doing? He said, this year there are no rains in Kartarpur. My fields are there. They are getting dried. Whole crops is getting wasted. I am putting water to that. He said, you are a fool. How this water can reach there? I say, I may be fool, no doubt. But one thing I am not understanding, if all the water can go against gravity to the sun God, why it can't go to the Kartarpur? He only wanted to say that don't follow the rituals blindly. There are meaning behind it. If you have not taken care of your parents when they were alive, what is it you are now doing it? Whatever Shraddha you are doing, whatever these things are you are doing, without understanding that, finally who eats the crows and these things? Is all go eat. Serve them. They are the living God. So he wanted to remove this one. He went to Jagannath Puri temple. In Jagannath Puri, he was asked to come and join Aarti. After some time, he came out. Then the king of that place and the priest, they came out. He says, why you promised that you will join us the Aarti? You are not joined us the Aarti. Why you are not joined the Aarti? He says, I was in the Aarti, you are not in Aarti. He says, how do you say that you are not in Aarti? He tells the king, there was a horse trading going on. And you were wanting to buy certain horses, so your whole mind was there. And Brahminji, Panditji, for you, your cow has given a small, child. And there is a well around that place which I do not have a boundary. You were worried that it may fall there. So you are not in Aarti. He said, what about you, Guru Nanak? He says, when I came out, I found the Aarti is going on. And there in that sense, he said, Gagan mein thal ravi chandra deepak. This Akash, the whole sky is like a plate, and moon and the sun are the two so-called lamps in that. And the fragrance coming from the sandalwood forest, that is the dhoop. And if Vanaspati gives the flowers, they are all there. And in that, from Yuga Jugantar, this Aarti is happening. I am part of that. And he says, Pavan Guru Pani Pita. Pavan, air, is like a guru, because when I am talking to you, it is only through this air, the conduction. The voice is reaching you. The knowledge is reaching to this. So air is like a guru. Pavan Guru, Pani Pita. Because the water is the one which God created first. Then only the whole creation came. It's like a father. Pavan Guru, Pani Pita, Mata, Dhart Mahat. This earth is a mother. So this is how he wanted to say that how do you have to take care of the environment. So if you take care of the environment, if we are committed to the compassion, because he says, Sarv Dharma Sesht Dharma, Har ko Naam Jap Nirmal Karam. The Sesht Dharma is only one which gives you the guidance on how to meditate and acquire the godly qualities within you, and you do the right karmas. Karm kart hoye nekami. Karma karte karte, you rise above the karma, the bindings of the karma, you will be able to achieve him. So this Shakti and Bhakti have to go together. Bhakti, as I told, that it has to go. So what we need today to really see that all human beings are treated themselves that we are the children of the same God. If the God is one, then only we are the real brothers and sisters. Recognize from different religious perspective, because many religions have gone from many to one. Sikhism has gone from one to many. That's the only difference. When we go many to one, probably somewhere we may get stuck. That's why Guru said, why not we start from there? So if we realize that He is the one and only one, we are the children, that gives us the universal brotherhood beyond any distinction. Whether we are Hindu, whether we are Sikh, whether we are Christian, whether any faith we follow, we are one. That is the first thing we are saying. And the God, whatever is created, it is a divine so-called family of the God. When the divine family of the God, the divinity has to be there. And divinity again comes from different religious practices, from the different ways, but the aim is same. This education needs to be there. And then, if He is the love, the compassion, Guru says very clearly, just like in Hinduism, it was believed that there is some ox over which this earth is there, and that is the Dharma. Tol dharam dya ka poot, santokh tha prakya jin soot. Guru says, if this dhol, this ox, which is called Dharma, is a son of compassion. If there is no compassion, there is no Dharma. And if the compassion is a mother of Dharma, then who is the father? Guru says, Santokh, the contentment. Now you see these virtues if you have in you as a human being, which is, Guru says from a different angle, how do you achieve that? The compassion. If you have a compassion, then only you can put yourself in the service of the mankind. Because God abides in the service. Human being, man, I've seen in his creation, the service to the so-called his creation is definitely serving to him. So this compassion which leads to the service is there. Then Santokh, the contentment. Without you are contented, how can you sit in prayers? You will be always greedy, you will be always wanting something. So these two things have to go together as a godly qualities in you. The spirituality in all religions gives this path for that. We may achieve from different ways, no doubt about it, but these two things are required. Compassion and so-called contentment. Compassion puts you in the service, just like in a family. We all know that we have to live for each other. We live for each other, we die for each other. Same way here, in a society, if we talk about our own country, village, or we go to the whole world, when we consider this as a whole world family, we need to have this compassion. We need to have this service-mindedness, which is built in this. So, Seva and Simran, these are the only two things which can have a firm foundation of word family and humanity as one. So, with these few words, the time is there. I would like to conclude here with one single pair, Jagat Jalanda Rakhle, Apni Kirpa Dhar, Jit Dware Ubre Ete Leuva. Oh God, this word is again burning with hatred, with exploitation, with a lot of social problems. Once again, save it the way you want it. The path is up to you, which dictate the whole humanity to follow that. Thank you very much for giving me this.
We express our heartfelt gratitude to Professor H.S. Bhatia for sharing his wisdom with all of us this morning. Now, may we have Professor Srikantamurthy, Vice Chancellor, Sri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence, to extend our token of gratitude and appreciation to Professor H.S. Bhatia. Now, we will have a short break and then reconvene for Satyadarpan.
हे गणनाथ गजानना,
हे गणनाथ गजानना,
हे गणनाथ गजानना,
हे गणनाथ गजानना,
हे रंबा गजानना,
हे रंबा गजानना,
हे रंबा गजानना,
हे रंबा गजानना,
हे गणनाथ गजानना,
हे गणनाथ गजानना,
गौरी नंदन गजानना, गजानना, हे गजानना,
गौरी नंदन गजानना, गजानना, हे गजानना,
गौरी नंदन गजानना, गजानना, हे गजानना, सिद्धि विनायक गजानना,
सिद्धि विनायक गजानना,
हे सिद्धि विनायक गजानना,
हे सिद्धि विनायक गजानना,
हे गणनाथ गजानना,
हे गणनाथ गजानना,
हे रंबा गजानना,
हे रंबा गजानना,
हे गणनाथ गजानना,
हे गणनाथ गजानना,
गौरी नंदन गजानना, गजानना, हे गजानना,
हे गजानना,
सिद्धि विनायक गजानना,
सिद्धि विनायक गजानना,
हे सिद्धि विनायक गजानना,
सिद्धि विनायक गजानना,
हे गणनाथ गजानना।
प्रातस्मरणं श्रीगुरुचरणम् प्रातस्मरणं श्रीगुरुचरणम् साईशचरणं श्रीगुरुचरणम्
साईशचरणं श्रीगुरुचरणं
साईशचरणं श्रीगुरुचरणम्
साईशचरणं श्रीगुरुचरणं
ब्रह्मानंद प्रदायक चरणं ब्रह्मानंद प्रदायक चरणं शरणं शरणं साईश चरणं शरणं शरणं साईश चरणं प्रातस्मरणं श्रीगुरुचरणं साईश चरणं श्रीगुरुचरणं प्रातस्मरणं श्रीगुरुचरणं ब्रह्मानंद प्रदायक चरणं शरणं शरणं साईश चरणं शरणं शरणं साईश चरणं प्रातस्मरणं श्रीगुरुचरणम्
श्रीरघुनन्दन सीतारामा श्रीरघुनन्दन सीतारामा राजीवलोचन राजा रामा राजीवलोचन राजा रामा राजा रामा सीतारामा
प्रेम वाहिनी ज्ञान वाहिनी धर्म वाहिनी ध्यान वाहिनी जय जय साई जय जय साई जननी मां साई जननी जननी मां साई जननी प्रेम वाहिनी ज्ञान वाहिनी प्रेम धर्म
Om Shri Sai Ram, offering our collective salutations at the feet of Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai, respected elders, devotees across the globe, staff and students, good morning and welcome to Satyadarpan. In his discourse during the last Satyadarpan session, Sadguru began by explaining the distinction between Murta and Amurta, the manifest and the unmanifest. A true Jnani perceives both dimensions with equal clarity. Just as Adi Shankaracharya, despite realizing the formless Brahman, still adored and worshipped the divine in form, we too celebrate festivals like Navaratri while studying Advaita of Ashtavakra Gita. Sadguru reminded us that finding a true Guru and earning his grace is life's greatest blessing. Losing his compassion, on the other hand, is life's greatest loss, for only the Guru's grace can liberate a soul bound by ignorance. Finally, addressing the concept of vasanas, Sadguru said that these deep-rooted impressions from past lives keep pulling one towards old habits and desires. Only through complete surrender to the Guru and steadfast adherence to his words can these vasanas be burnt away, revealing the radiant self within. Now, on behalf of everyone, we pray to Sadguru to bless us all with his divine discourse on Ashtavakra Gita.
सहनावतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
In the last chapter, the 9th one of the Ashtavakra Gita, the great Guru Ashtavakra encourages to develop Nirveda Bhava, which is dispassion for things. And that alone can lead you to Samatva Bhava, which is equanimity. When you are dispassionate about things, that is when your emotions don't swing. You are able to take things as they come without getting overtly attached. So equanimity is possible only when you have some sense of dispassion and detachment towards things. For example, Bhagavan used to give this story as an example. Before marriage, when the girl was living in the house next door, you were not bothered whether she is eaten, not eaten, she has fever or she is unwell. You were busy in your own world. But once a relationship is established, that she gets married to you and becomes your wife, now what? Even if she sneezes, you are afraid something happens to her, or so all the time you are worried, and because there is some kind of attachment that has developed. Till there was no attachment, there was no bondage. It really didn't matter to you what was happening to her. But the moment you get married, now everything starts concerning you, every little thing, because you have developed passion or attachment. And now you cannot be equanimous like earlier. Everything, if she is happy, then you are happy. If she is not happy, you are not happy. So this is how you get associated with emotions because of attachments. Attachments coming from some kind of bondage or relationships. So that is the idea, that one must develop some kind of dispassion to the world, which is to say that while you engage with the world, engage with it objectively, not become subjectively involved with it. It means take things as they come. That is the main idea. Wabi sabi, we learned from the Japanese people when they came here. Take things as they come. If a doctor who is operating on a patient who is not known to him, is just another patient, he will happily do his job. But if the patient happens to be his own wife or his own child, then his hands start shivering, because some sense of attachment has developed, some sense of bondage is there. Even if it is the best of the surgeon, he is the best of the surgeon, yet he would feel nervous because he is going to operate on his own child or his own kith and kin. So that is the idea, that when you have attachments, you cannot be equanimous. Your mind cannot be steady. Your mind cannot experience that equanimity. You will be affected. So Ashtavakra's call to Janaka, who is a king, and he must make many decisions for the people of his kingdom. And he must make them impartially, without getting attached to any of them. And that kind of dispassion is a must, not just for the king, but also for every human being if they want to walk on the spiritual path. At some point in time, one of the devotees wrote to me, why is it that I don't feel the pain of somebody else's child with a heart problem suffering in the hospital? I don't pray with the same intensity as I do when my child is sick. The reason is this, because you are attached to your child, you feel the kind of the passion, some sense of bond. That's why you are so intensely praying for your own child. But when you have to pray for somebody else's child who is sick, you just pray very dispassionately, more objectively. Oh God, help that child, may the child recover. But you really don't feel it the way you feel it for your own children. That is why those prayers are ineffective, I say. When we chant Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu, every day it's a part of our prayers. How many of us chant with tears in our eyes and some kind of pain in our heart, that we truly feel the trouble and the pain of the people? It has become a mechanical, parrot-like chant, without really feeling it deep within ourselves. Then what is the point? Such prayers never get answered. So some people ask, every day we are chanting Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu, still why the world is not happy? Because you're not chanting it the intensity that it deserves. You don't feel it. You don't feel it inside your heart that everybody should be happy, nobody should have any sorrow. We just say it mechanically. But same thing if suppose happens to your wife, child or your loved one, the prayer will be so intense, tears will be flowing incessantly. You won't get sleep, you won't be able to eat, you won't rest unless and until the prayer is answered. What all people do for their own prayer. I went to Tirupati and I was coming down the hill, and there are still steps on which people climbed the hill. They were climbing on their knees, those steps, not even walking on the foot. At least walking is still making sense, it's thousands of steps, but through the hill they're climbing on their knees because they have some desire or some prayer for somebody's well-being whom they are very associated, attached with. I don't see that kind of intensity that somebody is climbing the hill with praying Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu, with their knees getting actually so damaged and hurt. Who does that? Who does that? That is why the world is not becoming any better despite so many prayers and so many chants and so many people, so to say, asking for the welfare of the world. Because we don't really ask the way it should be. We are not attached, we are not passionate about it. But when it comes to our individual things, we are very passionate. We don't get sleep, we don't eat, we don't rest unless it is fulfilled. So this is the idea. Mamatva bhava, equanimity comes to dispassionate people only, where the outcomes won't matter. You will still do what needs to be done, but you won't be associated with the outcomes. Karmanyeva adhikaraste, ma phaleshu kadachana. That is the idea. At the same time, ma karma phalheto bhuhu. Ma te sangostu akarmani also it says. Just because you are not attached to the fruits of the action does not mean that you stop acting now, you stop behaving, stop working. Because anyway it doesn't matter, anyway it's not coming to you, anyway it's not going to benefit you. With that attitude, you should not develop attachment to non-action also he says. While you should not be attached to the fruit of the action, at the same time you should not be attached to non-action, because that fruit is not something that you're looking forward to. So you must do things as per the divine decree. Whatever your purpose, whatever your duty the divine has given, you just objectively discharge the duty without getting emotionally entangled in it. That is very important. Because I keep getting messages from people, they are sick. When you are a guru oji and people depend on your assurances, you don't get happy messages, you only get difficult messages. Like if you are a doctor, you don't see healthy people, right? You only see sick people. When you are a mechanic or car garage mechanic, you don't see good cars, you only see broken cars. So the job of Swamiji's is like that. You don't see happy messages all the time. You only see sad and messages for prayers and messages for blessings, messages for somebody's sickness, somebody's pain, somebody's sorrow. When I see those messages, I think like this. These messages are so intense. They want the prayer to be fulfilled because it is about themselves or somebody whom they are associated, attached to. Same prayer never comes with the same intensity. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Swamiji, see to that the whole world is really a happy place. That doesn't come. That is the idea of bondage. So the next chapter will talk about these bondages. What all kind of bondages we have and how we are so passionate about those bondages. But when it comes to some objective prayer for the welfare of the world or for even pursuing the spiritual path, we don't take it as intensely, as seriously. Because we are not so attached to that idea. So he tells in the next chapter, learn which is the right thing to be attached to and which is the wrong thing to be attached to. So that you are able to channelize your efforts and energies towards the right cause and not waste it for the wrong purposes. So from that he enters the chapter 10 and Ashtavakra says, continues his discourse. The first shloka says, Vihaya Vairidam Kamam Artham Chanartham Sankulam Dharmamapye Tayor Hetum Sarvatranadaram Kuru. Vihaya means give up. Vairinam, these enemies. Which one? Kama and Artham. Desire and wealth. Or desire for wealth. Whichever way you put it. Kamam Artham. Cha Anartham Sankulam. And this whole thing running behind desires is a Sankulam. It's a conglomeration. It's a bundle of anartha, means trouble. He has played on the word artha, anartha. Artha means wealth. Artha means desire for something or a purpose. Anartha means misfortune. Artha is fortune. Anartha is misfortune. So, in the desire for artha, which is fortune, we end up with a lot of misfortune. Not one, a bundle of misfortunes. Because we are pursuing kama and artha, which is desire and wealth, we end up with a lot of troubles. And dharmamapi etayor hetum. And even if you use dharma for the sake of fulfilling kama and artha, desires and wealth being your goal, even if you do it righteously, dharma is the basis of it, even then you will end up with troubles only, he says. Therefore, sarvatra anadaram kurum. Therefore, reject these, disregard these ideas that you must gain wealth, you must fulfill all kinds of desires. You may argue that I am doing righteous things, I am not cheating somebody and making money. Or my desires are not something that are going to harm somebody else. Yet, if you are running behind desires and wealth, even if you are doing it righteously, still it will lead you to troubles only at the end. Therefore, disregard this pursuit of kama and artha. We have 4 goals in our life for the Indian scripture: dharma, artha, kama and moksha. And I always say that if you think of your life divided into 4 phases, dharma, four works, dharma, artha, kama, moksha are the 4 things that you must achieve in your life. Dharma is righteous living. This is what we learn during Brahmacharya ashram, the first quarter of our life. We become students, we learn the rules of the game of life. What is right, what is wrong, how to make decisions, what to pursue, what to reject. These are the principles of dharma. Dharma mainly means that dutifulness, righteousness in this context. So you learn righteous living as a student. Brahmacharya ashram teaches you that, wrong from right. Then you enter the grihastha-ashrama. Grihastha-ashrama is when you raise a family, you have children, you have wife, you have relatives. Now you have to earn money. And because if you don't earn money, you cannot feed them, you cannot look after them. So our scriptures say, okay, at the second ashram of grihastha-ashrama, you are entitled to earning wealth, earning artha. Artha means wealth. That is our Artha Shastra. Kautilya's Artha Shastra is a policy on economics, the story or the book of economics, Artha. So Artha is the second phase of life, which is allowed during your grihastha. If you are a sannyasi, you are not allowed to accumulate artha. If you are a grihastha only, you are allowed to accumulate some wealth for the sake of your progeny. The other day I was telling, when I was returning from, during my summer holidays, when I was a student going back to my hometown from Puttaparthi, and in one station, Bilaspur, which is a big junction, I had to get down to change the train, but I had a few hours, so I went to my uncle's home. And the rickshaw puller who was taking me to the home at 4:30 a.m. in the morning, he was chatting. And he was telling me that this is how he has divided his wealth, because he's a grihastha, he has children as well as parents. He has divided into 4 quarters. One quarter is he repays the debt, he says, of the parents by looking after them, their health and all that, and all those friends who have given him support. One quarter he spends on himself and his wife, his family needs. One quarter he invests in the future, he says, for the future, which is raising the children. And one quarter he saves for the rainy day. This is allowed for a grihastha to do. One quarter to pay your debts, that is for the past, one quarter for the present, one quarter for the future, that is raising your children, and one quarter for a rainy day. Just in case something goes wrong, you must have some savings to look after your family. So it is allowed. Artha is allowed in grihastha ashrama. If you are not a grihastha, artha is not allowed for you. And how much artha is allowed for grihastha? Only as much as this rickshaw puller told. Only so much, मैं भी भूखा ना रहूं, साधु ना भूखा जाए. Only that much wealth is to be accumulated. Then, third goal of life, which is called purushartha, is kama, fulfillment of desires. Now, what kind of desires should you fulfill? Desires that are based on dharma only. Even wealth to be earned by the principles of dharma which you have learned during your student days. Even the desires that have to be fulfilled, they have to be fulfilled based on the righteous moral code of conduct of the society as per the scriptures. So if you fulfill wrong desires using your education or your wealth that you have earned in the process, you will be incurring sins and you will also be harming others in the process. So those desires which are unbridled, they don't have any limits, they have to be shunned. And those who are against the principles of righteousness, they have to be shunned. That idea is also that you must have a limit on your desires, because desires are insatiable. As we said, we heard from Bhartrihari that we keep Trishnana Jirna Vayameva Jirna. Our desires never get old. We become old and die, but our desires remain young and fresh ever. So there is no point of running behind desires. You have to draw a line. Nobody can draw a line for you. You have to draw a line when your spiritual progress is getting jeopardized, that is getting affected because of your desires and your wealth. You should draw a line saying, no, ultimate goal is the fourth goal, which is moksha, liberation from all this bondage. If that is not being pursued and your knowledge, your wealth, or your desires are coming in its way, then all these have to be abandoned. Simple as that. It is very clear in our scriptures. The end goal is moksha, and all these are like stations on the way to the final destination. If you are meeting with other stations, it means you are on the wrong road, you won't reach the destination. So our scriptures were very, very clear. They're always and this is not just for Indians, this is for universal. This is universal idea. Anybody can live a life like this. That is why I say Sanatana Dharma is not a religion, it is a way of life. It is the way one can lead one's life correctly. So Dharma, Artha, Kama are known. Moksha anyway knows, we all know that moksha is ultimate liberation. But here he says, in pursuit of Kama and Artha, even if you use Dharma, it is only going to lead to sadness and troubles at the end. Not one trouble, a bundle of troubles. Anartha Sankulam, it's a group of troubles, a bundle of troubles, it will come to you. Then that sounds antithetic to all that we have heard so far. We are supposed to earn wealth as per Dharma, then it is okay. We are supposed to fulfill desires as per Dharma, then it is okay. It will lead us to moksha. So far we have learnt and taken refuge in this idea that finally our scripture says you can be wealthy, no problem. You can also roam around the world and taste good things and wear nice clothes and build good houses, buy new cars and enjoy a little bit of friendship, companionship. It is okay. As long as it is within the limits of Dharma, it is permitted. Now suddenly Ashtavakra, destroys this idea also. It says that even for that sake, to live a comfortable, easy, cozy life, not harming anybody surely, not harming in the process anybody, but still for your own sake, for your own family, for your own people, you earn wealth or you fulfill the desires, even those will ultimately lead you to troubles only. Why he says so? Because we are doing it with a sense of bondage. We are doing it with a sense of passion and attachment. Why do you want to fulfill these desires? My family, my body, my wife, my children, my people, I have to look after them. That my things causes the trouble. Then what else? Wealth, why you are accumulating? My children, I have responsibility, I have to raise them, I have to send them to colleges, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to build a house, I have to protect, I am a husband, I am a provider. So I and mine is the reason why Ashtavakra is saying that even if you use dharma to earn wealth and desire, fulfill desires, they can also lead you to trouble as long as you are doing it with the sense of I and mine. That is the reason. Otherwise, I have seen so many parents. They are good parents. They raise their children with great effort, with got good morals. They even send them to nice colleges, pay their fees. At the end, they have so much of expectations built up. The children are burdened by the expectations of the parents. They keep reminding them, you know how much we have spent on you, you know how much we have done for you, you know how many sacrifices we have made for you, you know how much the child is suffering, saying it would have been good if I was not born to you, you did all these things and now you are taking and you are maintaining an accounts for all these things. And many are very clever. They even produce these accounts to the in-laws during marriage for dowry, saying this much I have spent on my son's education, that is why you should go. Once I was there somewhere in Hyderabad. They said for a software engineer, the dowry is 1 crore. For a software engineer working in America, dowry is 2 crores. So there is a slab to the dowries. And I asked, why do you how much we have spent him to send to America? You know how many lakhs we had to pay for the visas and this and that. Now he's earning so much money. Naturally, you have to recover that from the girl's family. I was very surprised that, and it is a norm. It is they don't think it is wrong or thing. They say it's a part of life, family life. And the parents of the girls are also very, very prepared for it. They also know that without that we won't get a good husband for her. So they also prepare to pay that kind of hefty dowries because they know that without that they will not get an American settled software engineer as a son-in-law. So they also know, they prepare and keep that much gold wealth. Don't go by how their houses are. If they have 2 daughters in their home, in a regular middle-class Indian family, know that they are crorpatis. Just that all crores will go to the next family. They won't be left with it. But they save. From the day a daughter is born, saving begins. Because they know that if they want to get a good family and a good groom who is well settled and earns very well, and especially we settled in the US, you have to save up. This is what they do. So the idea is that even if the father worked hard and earned and saved the money, at the end he spent on his children, he'll have expectations. He will have expectations. And that expectations is the bundle of trouble. Because when things don't happen your way, the children don't respond the way you want them to be, you will be sad. And that is where you deviate from your original true nature of consciousness, which is steadiness, equanimity and dispassion. So you're deviated because you have built expectations in the process of earning wealth for fulfilling the good desires only, for taking care of your family, but with the sense of I and mine, that attachment is the reason you will be in trouble sooner or later. And one day you will sit and calculate how much you have done and how much you have received, and all this calculation is unspiritual. Unspiritual. That is why you would not progress on this path. So he says, disregard such kind of ideas. Then you would say, so should we not earn any money? Should we not work to fulfill those basic desires? Do it as long as you don't have a sense of I and mine in it. No sense of ego and attachment. No sense of doership and joyship. No kartrutva or bhoktrutva bhava. Do it by all means. Now everybody will say, that is not possible. We haven't reached there. Then I would say, then first reach there, then start a family so that you are safe. Now you learn driving, you get a driver's license, then only you drive a car. Why do you get inside the car just because you have money to purchase a car? Then you will cause accidents to yourself and everybody in the process. So first learn spirituality, only then enter the world. Like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa say, if you want to cut the jackfruit which has that secretion that is sticky, apply oil to your hand and then cut the jackfruit, because then it won't stick to your hand. So unless you know your spiritual lessons, not as a theory. Theoretically, I know all these things. It's easy. Practically, you experience the sense of no doership and no enjoyership, then only enter the world. Unprepared, if you enter the world, you will get stuck like a Chakravyuha. Abhimanyu knew how to enter the Chakravyuha. He did not know how to exit. Half knowledge. And he got killed. Likewise, our life is a classroom. And the first lessons we have to learn is of dispassion and equanimity. With those lessons only one should enter the world. That is why our scriptures started off, children were taught from very young age. By 7th year, their whatever samskaras were done, and they were given away to a guru. Because parents knew, under our shade, if these children grow, they will not learn much. So even gurus, if they were running Gurukulam, they sent their children to the next Gurukulam. They didn't teach them in their own Gurukulam. They sent it to another guru's Gurukulam because they knew that parental feeling, the doership or the enjoyership, the expectations and the outcomes will somehow corrupt, contaminate the process of learning and teaching. That absolute, detached, impartial teaching cannot happen under the same father, mother's care. Now homeschooling has become a fashion, if you think of it. Because there are no good schools available, that is the other problem. If you send the children to schools which are not good, they get worse. So people are now keeping children at home and then they're coaching and treating and teaching them. Great, but you will develop sense of expectations and attachment when you do that. Similarly, when you pay a hefty fee for an international school to send your child, even then you will develop a sense of attachment that I spend so much money on this fellow. He better repays me, or at least gets good marks and gets into good jobs. Expectations build up. That's why Gurukulams were free. Parents could send them to any Gurukulam anywhere without having to pay a rupee. It means no expectations built at all. It kept the parents free from expectations. It kept children free from the burden of parental expectations. And Guru, who was very impartial, who only knew what is good for the child and did only that, irrespective of what the parents thought or anybody thought. Such an impartial Guru alone was capable of raising children in a good way. Because he was dispassionate and equanimous. Whole education system is ruined in today's time because it's been commercialized, commoditized and made a business out of it. And when parents work so hard to pay for such an education, they have huge expectations from the children and the management of the school. One of the teachers who joined were telling that she was teaching in a primary school somewhere in Bangalore, quite a popular school, very, very big brand. And then she started teaching some human values and some basic. The parents complained, she's wasting our children's time teaching all these things. They better focus on the lesson, make sure the child gets good marks. Otherwise, the next seat in the next new college will not be possible for them because rank cutoffs are so high. So that is how the education system got modified because of commercialization. Old Gurukulams were not like that. Any Guru could send a child to his own children also to another Gurukulam. No fees were to be paid. No expectations built, no educational loans were there, no children were under pressure. And money was not the reason or criteria for one's success in life. Contribution to the society, value creation, value addition to the society was the criteria of one's success. People were respected, vidvana sarvatra pujyate, it was said. Swadeshe pujyate murkhaha. Swagrahe pujyate murkha. In your home, only fools will be worshipped at home. Swagrame pujyate prabhu. In your village, if you are the village leader, you will be respected. Swadeshe pujyate raja. In your country, the king will be respected. But vidwan sarvatra pujyate. The person of knowledge, wise one, is respected everywhere. That was the idea of success in life, that you should become a person of wisdom and character. You will be respected. But today's time, everything has been turned topsy-turvy. More money you make at the end of your education, the more respected you are. The less money you make at the end of education, however knowledgeable you are, people won't respect you. That's why nobody wants to become teachers. But teachers were poorly paid all this while. Now they don't want to become teachers. And if at all they want to become teachers, they want to go to these kind of international schools where hefty fees is charged. I was told in Bangalore schools, now primary schools are charging 3 lakh rupees per year. That's only education, the school education, not residential. This is only the school tuition fee and other fees. 3 lakh rupees. And the internet was divided on it. Some people said it is a good thing. We will get good standards. The others said, how could you make education so expensive? What about middle class? So all kinds of drama is happening in the name of education. So parents' expectations build up when they raise children, even though they're doing dharma of parents, yet I and mine and the expectations building up, that leads to troubles at the end. The children feel terrible about it. They run away. They rebel. And then parents feel crestfallen. Oh, I did so much for my child. He just walked away. So because they have not raised them right. So that is why Ashtavakra is saying, even if you use dharmic ways to earn wealth and fulfill desires, still you will end up in trouble. Why? Because there is attachment. There is no dispassion in it. So we are raising these many children. Of course, I have to build some rules, I have to make some rules, otherwise there will be chaos. There, as a system, they are beneficiaries. They are expected to also pass it on, pay it forward. That is what we are telling them. Now somebody says, that's a wrong expectation. You are teaching Ashtavakra Gita and you are telling us we should also do seva. What is this expectation from us? If you want to give education free, give. Why build these clauses in it? Some parent argued like this. One of our interns told me that in one of the schools, when we told the parents that after the education, the child is supposed to do internship, of course children are paid during that. Nobody is making them work for free. But if they work, they can help the next generation for a few years before they move on in life. So this is being inbuilt into the system. And all the education across is free. The only expectation, if you call it expectation, is that the child will spend some years serving in the institution so that the next generation people get benefited. The parents' argument was, you people are telling you are a selfless organization. You want everybody to be selfless. But where is selflessness is in this? You are expecting my child to stay back and serve. This is not right. You are not selfless. Look at the kutarka, they call it, wrong arguments, wrong logic. This is what they used. That is why I am saying, even if you raise children or you do anything in the world, you say, I have fulfilled the right kind of desires, I have only earned the money in the righteous ways, yet you will be in the trouble because of this sense of attachment to things. And that is why you will be in trouble at the end. So Ashtavakra says, give up this idea also, that I have used dharma to earn artha and fulfill kama, therefore I am still okay, I will finally find moksha. No, you won't, he says. You won't find. So this is actually quite a shock for most of the people sitting in this room and around. What, even then we won't find moksha? If we do adharma, we understand. Even in dharma, we are not finding moksha. No, as long as it is not free from kartritva and bhoktrutva bhava, you will not find peace and moksha or liberation at the end, even if you have lived a righteous life. Because your righteousness is selfish. It is not selfless. Therefore, it will not lead you to ultimate liberation. To that extent, Ashtavakra is clear. He's telling Janaka, you are a king. I know you will do well. You will do the right decisions. You will do the right thing for your people. You are a good king. But if you do it with any sense of attachment, doership or enjoyership, you are in trouble. Don't come later crying, I did everything right. How could you not give me moksha? Why did I not become peaceful? Because you didn't do it right. You didn't do it completely right. So that is why it is very important for these ideas to be understood correctly. Otherwise, people can argue like the parents who argue, why should you force my child to serve? You give education if you want to give for free. That is your job, that is your initiative, that is your idea. Why are you forcing these ideas on us? We want to be selfish only at the end of the education. That is not fulfillment of our education. I won't allow that. And people are very clever. They are all going to courts and getting orders from lawyers to tell me what to do, what not to do. They are telling there is no rule you can push things like that and things like that. So when we started medical school also the same drama started. You can't force our children to do service and all. I told, but you people told you are from rural India, you are very poor, you would like to serve the rural India. Here is the opportunity. After your medical education, serve in the rural India and after that continue your higher education. That they don't like. They have even gone getting me lawyers' opinions and all that stuff. So I also put lawyers to deal with them. Because where love is not there, law comes in. When love is there, there is no law. See, imagine getting benefited from a free medical education. Also, people have these ideas that how to take anything and everything from here and not give anything back in return. And the argument is, who asked you to open a free medical college? We didn't tell you, you opened. Now we are benefiting because as per the rule we have got the seat. But we will not follow any of those rules you are putting in. You still are, we are entitled to get free everything because you have declared that it's a free medical college. But we are not supposed to be forced into any service. I told, where is the force in it? You should happily say it that what a wonderful opportunity to serve the rural India, that too with regular, suppose you go and join some other, I'm not saying, but many government setups I've seen in primary health and secondary health, they don't have infrastructure, they don't have proper, whatever needed equipment and other things. So even if you want to serve in rural India, it's very difficult. Plus sometimes salary comes from government, sometimes it doesn't come, all kinds of dramas happen. Half the time doctors are on strike. Here is an opportunity to finish your education, go and serve in the rural India. You will be paid for it, and you'll get good infrastructure, good facilities, equipment, and lot of learning you can do. But no, you give medical for free, you give, that is your problem. Why you are making a... So these kind of people are there in the society. That's why I always say that people don't want to do good because they are afraid of doing good. Because they know that the 100 brickbats will come on the way. Even if they do good, people are not good. They are selfish. So still wanting to do good despite all these challenges takes a lot of spirituality, dispassion and equanimity, which Ashtavakra is talking about. That despite all these things, one should do good. That is how it should be. Mother Teresa used to say, there is a quote from her, which Bhagavan also used to quote, a similar one, used to say, give all, take nothing. Hear all, say nothing. Bear all, do nothing. And one more line is there. Serve all, be nothing. This is what the call is. Yes, you have come to give all, take nothing. Hear all. People will say 100 things. Hear all, say nothing. Till date, I have never ever published a statement or said anything against whatever people said. Our policy is very clear. We have no time for this nonsense. We are here to do good. Let us keep doing. Then bear all. Whatever happens on the way, bear all. And do nothing. Don't get reactive. Don't try to fight back and waste your time. Bear all. Do nothing. And serve all. Irrespective of whether they are good, bad, not good, not whatever be the condition. They are needy, serve all. And be nothing. Be nothing is the ultimate spiritual principle. That is, do nothing, be nothing. Kartritva bhava, bhoktritva bhava. Both have been taken care of. Do nothing means, not that I won't do any work. When people don't do nice things to us, you don't start fighting back. Do nothing about that, it is said. And be nothing at the end. Bhoktritva bhava, enjoyment of the work also should not be there. Both doership and enjoyership should not exist in work. Only then one can find peace and happiness. See, this shloka is very, very deep. You have to understand it in its entirety, otherwise half knowledge will be dangerous. But we are born with vasanas. Remember the last chapter said, it is easier said than done. Oh yes, we will get rid of all these things. Maybe during this 1 hour of our talk, you will feel very inspired. Yes, this is the right way of life. Step outside the doors and that's it. All the vasanas come back. Bhagavan used to say a story of a merchant who was very greedy and he would cheat his customers. And then every year he'll go to Ganges, to Haridwar and take bath and feel that he has become purified, but come back and start cheating again. So he'll go to his guru and say, why I am not able to stop cheating my customers? Every year I go to Ganges, I wash myself, I think I have become pure. Again I come back and start doing the same old things. Why? Then Guru said, like you go to Ganges, what do you take off your clothes, hang it on the tree, and then go take a bath and come back and wear the same clothes and come back like that. You go to Ganges, remove your vasanas, hang it on the tree, you go have bath, come back, put on all the vasanas and come back and start cheating. This is what happens. Your vasanas are like that habit, remember? Remove H, a bit remains. Remove A, bit remains. Remove B, it remains. Very difficult to get rid of our old instincts and impressions of the past because we're creatures of habits, as they say. So that requires a tremendous effort and conscious effort. No magic will happen. You sit here in the hall, something will happen and somehow you will become purified and go out as sanctified spiritual beings. No. It's a lifelong effort. You have to keep putting efforts. Every day you have to put efforts. And nobody you should take yourself for granted or your mind for granted that no, I've conquered it. Like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was approached by a young man who said, have you conquered lust? Have you conquered desires, carnal desires? Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said, his experience, because he had to make it relevant to the youth. Ramakrishna can give any answer to anybody. But to the youth, just to make him feel comforted, he said, no, but I have worked on it and I know how to deal with them. I know how to deal with them. That's what he said. And then he told one day, after doing a lot of meditation, tapas and all, I thought I have conquered all my desires and I am free from this idea of lust and all that. And just then I thought like this and I saw somebody pass by, a woman from the river, and I fell for the same desires again. Then I buried my head in the sands and cried and cried and cried to the mother, saying, Mother, forgive me for this ego and arrogance that I have conquered my lower desires. Only your grace can destroy them. I am nobody. I thought I have done enough tapas and I have somehow overcome these, but it is only you who can make it happen. And he surrendered and cried to the mother, burying his head in the sand. That is what he tells the youth. So it is by divine grace. Your effort should be there. Divine grace will definitely bless those efforts. So that is the idea, that you must put efforts, because we are creatures of habits. These habits have come from previous lives. It just doesn't go away like that. But you can put efforts, and with divine grace, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam, the people who are sincere, they definitely attain success by the divine grace. Some shlokas I have mentioned from Bhagavad Gita, where Arjuna says, I don't want to be good, but somehow I am not able to. What's wrong with me? I don't want to do wrong things, but somehow I feel as if I've been pushed to do wrong things. Anichannapi varshneya. As if I don't want, yet I am pushed to it. You know these shlokas, so I won't repeat again. And then Sri Krishna says, Kama and Krodha are Rajoguna samudbhavaha. Rajoguna is an instinct in us, based on past habits. And that pushes us to be desirous of all kinds, and Krodha. When desires don't get fulfilled, we get angry. So anger and desire are like twins. They come together. So they come from our old instinct, which is called Rajoguna, the passion, the principle of passion in us for things. And that is the cause of all the trouble. And he says they come very fast. Without you realizing, before you could even take a note of it, it has already consumed you. That is how fast they are. And they are enemies. So you have to stay away, you have to get rid of them. That is what he says. And my idea, as I said, is that you cannot do it alone. You have to have the grace of the Guru or God. This is something you cannot achieve it alone. It is not possible. Once Vivekananda felt such kama, and he went and sat on a pyre, burning pyre, thinking he will burn his body and torture it and punish it and he will get rid of it. But he couldn't. And then he realized this is now not how it is. By your cutting off your organs, or running away or burning away, you cannot burn away your instincts. They are so deep rooted. The vasanas are so deep rooted. They'll grow back. Complete uprooting has to happen only in self-realization. That self-realization is not possible by your own efforts. It has to happen under a guru or by divine will only. Don't overestimate your capacities as sadhakas, that somehow I am so good at sadhana, I will somehow achieve it. No. Without that, like Ramakrishna said, I thought I have conquered it, but I realized I haven't. And only when he cried and surrendered to the mother, saying, you alone can help me with this. I am a fool to think that I am capable of it. Then mother has graced him. So this is the process. The other day somebody was worried because I gave a lecture, right, about the princess the merchant's daughter, whom the prince wanted to marry because he was enamored by her beauty. Then she takes purgatives, laxatives, and collects all her beauty in 8 pots and then brings it for the marriage. And when the prince is shocked, says, what happened to you? You look like a skeleton. You are no more that beautiful young maid that I saw. She said, all my beauty is in 8 of these pots which I collected for last 1 month. If you want to marry my beauty, there it is. That is what it is, as I said. So little discrimination is required. See, and especially the boys and girls of your age, you see. And don't think that you are an exception. Everybody goes through these emotions. It is not something that you should punish yourself or be too hard on yourself for that. But know for that, this age is brahmacharya ashrama. This age is for learning. And as I said, vidyarthina kuto sukham, sukharthina kuto vidya. For people who are desirous of knowledge, where is the scope for them to enjoy pleasures? And those who are desirous of pleasures, where is there scope for them learning anything? Both don't happen together. That is why brahmacharya ashram was kept very strict. The name itself is brahmacharya. Your mind should only be invested in God, nothing else. But we are a mixed ashram, and now with this huge festival, there are women, men, boys, girls, they're coming and going. Earlier it was only boys' school, men were there, women were not even to be seen. Only on parents' meet, some women will come because they were mothers of the children. Otherwise, there were no women in the ashram. 12 years ago, there was nobody here. But we are a global family, everybody. Why women should be denied of spiritual wisdom and opportunity? So we put them in. But that also brings, like when you open the window, yes, breeze comes, but mosquitoes also come with it. So then mosquitoes have started coming. Young boys are getting tempted by the young girls, or young girls by young boys. while they try very best to keep the focus on me and on the scripture, somewhere, little one corner of the eye, and that's it, dhyayato vishayan punsaha sangasteshu pajayate. By thinking of it, desire develops. And then all the other things. Then their focus on Ashtavakra Gita is not there. What cultural festival is not there. Studies is not there. Only focus, mind is fully occupied by one thought. So what should they do is the question they ask me. How should we overcome that? I told, first of all, you should have kept control on your eyes. Where are your eyes going? I told you, no, everything is food. Whatever you see, hear, taste, smell, touch, everything is food. So you should have been careful not to do that. Now that you have done this to yourself, what is the next option? How do I overcome this sense of joy? I tell one, remember which stage of life you are in. You are in Brahmacharya Ashrama, which means you must focus on your education. Because if this time, at this point of time, in this very crucial stage of your life, the foundational years, if your attention goes to other things, you will lose a lot of your concentration, energy, focus, and you will not learn what you are here to learn for. All the time and energy will be wasted. And here you are also working, it's not that it is right that if your parents were paying for it, you could have done as you please. No, that also was wrong. But here it is charity. It's even more responsible you should be here. Because somebody's parents are paying for you. Why? Because they want you to come up in life. You should be even more careful. So yes, if you want to totally avoid, then you should be very strict. Then I'll have to hang a curtain in this hall, in between. You exit from there like that. But how long? These are all external measures. External measures don't go too far. Internally you have to change. But being in the age that you are in, it is possible. I'm not saying it is totally avoidable, something. But you should immediately become alert. See, this is going to be deviation from my original path, which means this is going to destroy my abilities, energies, focus, concentration, which I have to use to develop my knowledge and skills. This stage is for that. Therefore, I have to immediately cut off from that. 1. 2. If you cannot still take your minds off, think of this princess story. The one whom you are so very enamored by today, suppose tomorrow they get a cancer or some other disease, or let us say any infectious disease. Would you like to even go near them if they develop some leprosy or something like that? Would you still love the person whom you are so very desirous for? No, you won't. You won't. In all good sense, you will say, good that I found out and therefore I do not want to proceed with that. To tell yourself that this is not the time, this is not the stage, and worst is of all, you are jeopardizing your opportunity to continue in this institution, because I am very strict. So I can't go person to person advising, counseling. That is teachers are doing. I have to simply draw a line and say, you were on the wrong lane of the road, therefore you have to pay the fine and get out of the road. What else I can do? Your journey stopped. That's why I told last time. See, for institution, it will be loss of one student. For you, it is loss of lifetimes of an opportunity to redeem yourself, which will not come back to you. A lot of children have indiscipline. Sometimes we had to remove. Sometimes they only left because they wanted more freedom. They write back to me now. My mistake, my bad, please take me back. But I tell, no, the train has left the station. You have to wait for another train. I can't reverse the train and bring it back to your station. It's over. You come back later. Don't lose this opportunity. These scriptures should help us think like that. The other day I said, develop an X-ray vision. See everybody as skeletons only. Then you will not get attached to anybody because all will look the same. And so that is how a Jnani sees the world. One Jnani sees beyond the skin. A Jnani only gets stuck at the skin level. He cannot think anything deeper. So Ashtavakra continues in a nicer tone on page number 80, the second shloka. How should you see the world? He says, Swapnendra jalavat pashya dinani trini panchava mitra kshetra dhanagara dara dayadi sampadaha. How should you look at the world and all the things that the world offers, so much attractive, so very enticing? He says, very simple. Look at the whole world as a dream or a magic show. So these examples we have already discussed in details earlier. In a magic show you go, the child may get excited. Oh, the money is coming out of the magician's hat. He'll do like this and money will start flying. He will think magician is so rich, if I know the trick, I also will become rich. If magician was really making the real money, why would he be selling tickets for 2 rupees and working so hard if he could really create the money? But the child gets excited. Wow, they can make money. Father sits there saying, no, the only money that is real is the money I paid to get you inside the show. All others is fake. But the child will jump up and down. Like that. Look at this world as a magic show. All that we think gives us pleasure, it's only the magic that gives us temporary pleasure or because of ignorance. The moment you have become aware of it, the pleasure goes away. The moment you are aware those notes are not real, you enjoy the magic show anymore. You don't enjoy it. You just watch it as a part. But children get excited. So those who are spiritually not grown, they are still children, Balam. They get excited about the world and the pleasures that the world is offering and all the kinds of excitement that the world is giving you. Only immature, unspiritual, ignorant fools get attracted by the worldly pleasures. The mature, the wise, the spiritual will never be enticed because they can see through the falsity of it. How can they get attracted? So dream, like a dream or like a magic show which lasts only 2, 3, 5 days, that's it. Magician comes to your town, sets up his stall, runs the show for 2 to 3 days, you go watch that, enjoy it, that's the end of it. Like that he says, dinani trini panchava, 3 or 5 days. 3 to 5 days of show this is. As long as we are here, that's it. After that we all move on. We cannot stay here forever. It is a small life. Though it looks like 100 years, but you never know when it will end. So think of it as a dream or a magic show and don't get enamored and attracted by it. The problem is that we are not able to think like, we think it's real and so we are running behind it, which is where the problem is. Then he says Mitra, Kshetra. Mitra means friends and relations. Kshetra means wealth and property. Dhanagara means treasures or treasuries. Then Dara means wife. Dayadi means other children and other people, inheritances that you get from your family. So all these things, Sampada, which we think is our true wealth, all these you think as the magic show, like the magician's fake notes. The relationships are like that, the friends are like that, the wealth you seem to have accumulated is like that, all the other things that you have, wife, children, everything you treat it as a dream or a magic show. Kastvam koyam kutamayataha kame janani kome tataha iti paribhavaya sarvamasaram vishvam tyakta swapna vicharam, says Adi Shankaracharya. What is mother, what is father, what are children? They are there for this lifetime. Yes, that's true. But they were not your mothers and fathers last life and they may not be the mothers and fathers next life too. So think of it as a swapna, think of it as a dream. In dream you don't become insistent that I must have. Somebody who wins a lottery in the dream does not become rich when he wakes up. Or somebody who loses all his wealth in the dream does not become poor when he wakes up. Both are false. What happens in the dream, sometimes we get so very enamored by it, we think that no, this is real. While dreaming it feels real, but when you wake up, you realize it's a dream. However pleasant or bad it was after all a dream. And you wake up and come to terms with the reality. An Ajnani is always awake, always aware, never asleep from that point of view. Because he's awake from the point of view that he is awake to this idea of the world being a dream. He's not entangled in it, he's not pulled into it, sucked into it, and he forgets that it's a dream. It never happens to a Jnani. Ajnanis are happily enjoying the dream and starting to imagine that all that is happening is true. So don't get too attached to all these relations. They are there today, they will not be there tomorrow. Be free. But at the same time, don't become like somebody else. Then I become very insensitive to people. I become cold. I become rude. I become non-reactive. I told, no, you will do it as a part of your duty, the dharma that God has given you. You are a father, you have children, you have to raise them. You will raise them with equanimity and dispassion. You have family to look after. You look after them with equanimity and dispassion. No greed, no desire. That life is allowed. But how many of us are capable of it? You tell me, even if you acquire a new pen, put it in your pocket, whole day you will, around the whole ashram, you will walk around to make sure that everybody knows that you have acquired a new pen. How much pride is that? How much of ego is that? Bhagavan used to tell a story of a woman in Puttaparthi. It seems she somehow sold a piece of land and bought 2 golden bangles. And that golden bangles was something she was very proud of. So she wanted the whole village to see that she has golden bangles. So she will only be talking like this. But nobody would notice it. Nobody bothered she had golden bangles or what she was wearing. She felt very hurt and sad. Nobody noticing that. So what did she do? She set fire to her hut. So everybody came running. because that's a big incident in the village. And when they came running, instead of trying to, douse the fire, she started shaking her hands like this in front of the fire for people to see that she has bought new bangles. Bhagavan used to joke like that, telling this story, that people can be that foolish that they can burn their own heart to make sure that people notice that they have got new bangles. Like that our life is. Once we get desirous of things, there is no end to it. The other day also I told, 2 deadly viruses. COVID virus is nothing in front of it. One is Kamini, the other is Kanchana. These 2 viruses are the most dangerous. Kamini, desire for the opposite gender, and Kanchana, desire for wealth. These 2 come here, God leaves immediately. When these 2 enter, God exists. That is what happens to many people who come to the ashram. But once they realize or they get attracted by these ideas, I must make money, I must do big in life, and they give me excuse. They say, Swami, bless me that I can leave the institution after I study so that I can become very rich, and then I will donate to your mission and I will help you. I said, I don't need that kind of help. Rather you stay and work and help today than helping after 50 years when you make the money which you never even know whether you will make or not. This is the time. Many people do this kind of wrong ideas they have. I tell them, don't worry about that money part of it. That is not the most exciting part of this journey. To be able to be here and today make a difference to somebody's life is the more exciting part of the journey. Don't wait for another day to do good. Do good now and here. But that doesn't seem like a very fascinating thing. No, if I am a millionaire, then I write $1 million check, then you'll call me on stage, put one garland on me or something. Some story like that. Like giving these CSRs and all every day we recognize, right? Papam, their life is only that much. In that they are able to do this much. That's all they are. But your life is much, much better because you are already there in the right place. So don't exchange this for, or shortchange this for some stupid idea like this. But many people after education, they want to run away. In this name, that I will make enough money and one day you will be proud of me, I will give you a big fat check. I don't need your check. Because how much ever you make the money, I will spend it in half a day. The whole of your life's earning, I will spend it in half a day. So you work for 50 years and come to me with a fat check, by afternoon it will be over. So can you ever compensate me for that wealth through your wealth? You can never. You can never. Because I spend like that. And if I'm not, somebody else comes with another problem, whatever remaining also will give away. So you can never help me by becoming some rich person and come. If it is written in your fate, that's a different matter. But generally it is not. I told Jana, Dhana, between that I appreciate Jana more than Dhana. Jana means people. I need people. I don't, wealth, there is enough people who are trying to only make wealth. They cannot do seva. Give that job to them. Let them sacrifice a bit and earn some punyam and at least redeem themselves in some way. At least they'll progress on spiritual. But leave it to them. You don't worry about them. You worry about how can your life be utilized to do good today. Not at another day, some long later in the future. No, to do it now and here. That's why don't get attached to these ideas. In between, one more new drama started. Our population is declining. That I keep telling. Our replacement ratio has come down. Earlier, minimum replacement ratio of a population should be 2.1 to replace, because 2 people should give birth to at least one fellow who takes forward the things, right? But now it is declined to 1.9 in the average of, I think maybe villages still it is around 2.1. But other places declined to 1.9, 1.8, some cities maybe even less. It means the replacement is not happening. 2 people are marrying but they are not having children. They should have 2 children at least, because when they die they have left behind 2 more souls, right? That is not happening. Little more than 2 they should have, is not happening anymore. So some people have taken it upon themselves to fulfill this mission of replacing the population. One people came, they were not able to conceive children, were miserable. And they tried this, that, every other way they tried. How many lakhs they spent, I don't know what they did. Miserable. I told, there's so many orphans. Can you adopt 1 or 2? They will also be looked after. Your desire to be parents also will be done. No, it has to be born from my womb only. Then you suffer, I said, go. Attachment, these are attachment. I understand that fulfillment of motherhood. I understand all that. I understand the social pressure that comes with it and things like that. But when God is not destined, it is not destined for you, good riddance. I would say good riddance. Think it in a positive way. And now a child, grow the child. How much attachment is that? Child is the biggest. Dhara, putra. Dhara means wife and after that putra means child. These 2 are the biggest attachment in life. Nothing matches them. They are the highest attachment. Children are the biggest attachment, even more than your spouse. Your whole life gets tied around them. Don't I see people's DPs in WhatsApp and other things? First they'll be alone, they'll be posing DP, this angle, that angle, their face. It's all about themselves. After some time, they are getting married, right? So now all DPs will be full of their marriage pictures, engagement pictures, their honeymoon pictures, this picture, that together. After some time, a baby comes. Now all the DP is dominated by baby's picture. No wife, no husband. Everywhere that baby, smiling, walking, crawling, rolling, giggling, yelling, everything is a DP now. Every day new DPs they put. Say, enamored by that. After 65, 70, when the wife is no more, children no more, then my DP comes up on this WhatsApp. Long time later. Then Rama, Krishna, Sai Baba, all these DPs. That too they change daily. Not even steady on that. Mind is like that. I keep watching this and I have good fun at people's expense. I look at that, look at this. I've seen all this. So all I'm saying is that this is how the majority of the world is, because they did not have any guru to tell them what is right, what is wrong. So leave it to them. You have to actually be kind to them. Why? Because they did not have anybody to tell them what is right. But you all know, to much whom is given, much is demanded. You know, and you can't afford to behave like the same. If you also behave the same way, then what should I do with you? So that is the idea. Ashtavakra says, don't get too attached. The other day I was reading this one story Bhagavan had told. A man said, no, you say all these are astiram jivanam lokam, astiram yavanam dhanam, astiram dara putradi, all these are temporary, satyam kirti dvayam stiram, only truth and goodness remains, everything else is temporary. But this man argued saying, no, my wife loves me like anything, she would do anything for me, my children love me, my mother loves me, all that. So Guru said, let me teach you a lesson. Here is a small medicine. You take it when you go home, suddenly you will fall asleep and your body will turn cold and you will not respond at all. But you will be able to listen to everything that is happening around you. You won't die, but it will appear as if you are died. And I will come and let us see. So the man says, I will prove you wrong, Guru. You said these relationships are temporary. I will prove it to you. You are a sannyasi. What do you know? The joy of marriage and children and what is the love that is. Okay, go. So he goes home, takes the medicine, falls down. The wife and the children and the mother and neighbors, everybody is making a big hue and cry. Then this Guru walks in, saying, what happened? He said, we don't know. He just came from your ashram. What have you fed him that he came and fell down here like this? Let me see. Oh, so sad. Looks like he is no more. And the cry begins. Then the Guru says, don't cry so much. Looking at your pain, my heart is moved. I will revive him. But there is only one condition. That whoever gives his or her age to him means he will come alive, but one will die in the family. And that age will be transferred to this man. Anybody. So everybody start looking at each other's face. The mother says, I would have happily given my age, but anyway, I'm already old. There is not enough age left for me. 2, he had promised me to take me to Tirtha Yatras. If I don't go to Tirtha Yatras, his soul will not be at peace. Therefore, for his sake only, I cannot die. But what is a wife's life without a husband? Let his wife die, because the wife is Ardangini, half of the husband. What will she do without a husband? So he tells, okay, wife, you die, I will shift your life into his. Wife says, I would have happily died. What is my life after all without my husband? But I have little children. Children need mother more than father. This old lady has nothing to do in life. The old hag too, better ask her to die. At least some years my husband will get. By the time children will grow up and I can then die. The man says, okay, let me do that. Then let the old lady die. Old lady said, no, I am not going to die. So daughter-in-law, mother-in-law start fighting. Then both of them make a plan. Why don't we tell the sannyasi only to die? Anyway, he has nobody. So they make a plan. Go inside, make a plan, come out. Swamiji, I am a lady, I have my son, daughter-in-law, children, and I have to do Tirth Yatra. She is a young woman who needs to be with the husband and take care of the children. You are the only one who has no wife, mother, children, nobody. Why don't you die and give your age to this man? Then the Swamiji sprinkles some water and whatever makes him come awake. And this man then realizes, This is what it is. Nobody is going to exchange their life for my life. This is just a drama. That's why Swapna Indrajalavat, like a dream or like a magic show. Dinani, Trini, Panchanicha, that's all. For a few days, this drama goes on. In this drama, we become part and we become so attached to each other as if this is the permanent thing. It is not. It is not. Nobody will exchange their life for another's sake, whoever it might be. Why? Because everybody's life is dear to them. They may say. A lot of people are there. I have received a lot of letters. So, a guru's job is quite interesting because I get all kinds of letters. Letters of heartbroken Majnus and Lailas also I get. Please bless that this happens then and we get married. Otherwise we can't live without each other and things like that. I will die if something happens to her or him. 5 years down the line, they're married to 2 different people, having 3 children, living a happy life. Nobody died. Nobody died. Till date, I have not seen. Maybe some fools can perhaps still go and die. But generally, I am saying, people with some sense, nobody dies for each other. They go on and then find another partner and they continue their lives. Have I not seen that? So this is why he's saying it's all drama, it's all a dream, it's all a magic show. Only pay so much attention. Only so much attention you give. Mata nasti, pita nasti, nasti bandhu sahodaraha, graham nasti, artham nasti, tatsmat jagrata, says Shankaracharya. All this idea of mother, father, and friends, and wife, and children, and a home, and the wealth, all this is non-existent. These are dreams. Therefore, wake up, wake up. Once you wake up from this dream, you will realize it is all dream. Till you are dreaming, it all seems real. So it's very difficult for me to convince you that it is not real. Only when you wake up in spiritual wisdom, everything appears to be a dream. Not that you become disrespectful, rude, or bad to others. Am I disrespectful to people? Am I bad to them? Am I rude to them? No, I am in fact more kind to them. Because I feel bad, they are stuck in the dream and suffering unnecessarily, I must wake them up. So that is my job. So you are only more concerned because you feel bad for them. I hear they are suffering unnecessarily. It is not necessary that they should suffer. If only they know that this is just a dream, why should they suffer? Or when I see people getting too excited on certain successes in life, then also I feel they are suffering in another way. They are also excited all over the place. One day this is all going to stop and they will be plunged into depths of misery. So to save them, I have to again teach them spiritual truths. People listen as if they have understood. But when the situations strike, they lose their balance. They forget all these amazing shlokas. That's why I said, pick up 1 or 2 of these shlokas, make your mantra in life. You know my shloka. Which is my shloka? Mayananta maham bodhav jagadvichi svabhavataha udayatu vasta ayatu name vriddhi nachakshatihi. Great shloka for me. And the other shloka that I hold on to is pravruttau va nivruttau va naiva dhirasya durgraha yadayat kartum ayati tatkritva tishtate sukham. Both these shlokas have really is like 2 rails on which my life moves. Very smooth. One, I am the great ocean and world is like the waves that rise and fall. When the world rises and falls within me, I do not diminish or I do not increase. I remain the same. It only is external, superficial, at surface level things. I am not affected. That has helped. Second thing, pravruttava nivruttava. To engage or to disengage from an action is not a problem for the wise one. Why? Because they are not attached. Tomorrow you make me the king of the place, I will happily sit there. The day after you remove me, I will go happily leave. No attachments. So pravrutta means to engage. Nivrutta means to disengage. Both are not a problem for the wise ones. Yadayat kartumayati. Whatever comes to them by virtue of destiny, they fulfill that. And tishtati sukham, they remain happy, they don't complain, they don't cry, they don't resist or object to things. It's divine destiny, it has brought this our way, we will deal with it. Vabi sabi. That is the idea of these 2 shlokas have really like guardrails for me. They have helped a lot. They have helped because they are very practical. For my kind of work, it's very practical. Pick up 1 or 2 shlokas like this from Ashtavakra, make it your life's mantra. And every time you see another boy or a girl and your mind starts drifting, and starts getting attracted and gets distracted, repeat a shloka. What is the shloka you should repeat? This only you should repeat just now. Swapnendra jalavat pashya dinani trini panchava. These are all drama, a little magic show. This will last only 2, 3, 5 days. After that, we will wake up to the reality only. What is the point? Why waste time on futile efforts? So don't chase shadows in this world. That is the idea. Third shloka on page number 85. Which says, Yatra yatra bhavet trishna samsara vidhi tatra vai praudha vairagyam ashritya vita trishna sukhi bhava. Again, it's a very nice shloka. It says, Yatra yatra mane bhavet trishna. Wherever there is desire, where desire exists, yatra yatra, wherever bhavet trishna, desire happens, samsaram vidhi tatra vai. Know for sure that that is where this samsara happens. Desire is the reason for worldly bondage. Samsara means worldly bondage. Wherever desires happen, that is where the bondage to the world. World means all relationships that we saw last time. Your home, your family, mitra, kshetra, dhana, agara, dara, daya, adi sampadaha. All these attachments happen only when there is desire. If there is no desire, there is no attachment. Then what should we do? Praudha vairagyam ashritya. Depend on praudha vairagya, mature dispassion. Immature dispassions also happen. When somebody cheats us, we lose all the love for them. We think we have become detached. Or somebody dumps us, walks away, we feel we have become detached. The shmashana vairagya I say. Suddenly some loved one dies, you feel there is nothing to do in this world, the life has no meaning. Suddenly you feel like a sannyasi. But that lasts only a few days. So that kind of immature, childish dispassion is not what Ashtavakra is saying, which happens to everybody once in a while. He is telling Praudha Vairagya means mature. Praudha means mature, aged. Develop a mature dispassion and Vita Trishnaha Sukhi Bhava. Giving up all desires, be happy. Give up all desires and be happy. Why? Because you have matured in your dispassion, in your detachment. This is not some knee-jerk reaction of dispassion. During COVID time, I saw so many people became dispassionate. When they lost their loved ones, they felt there is no point in life. Life is so dry, meaningless. There is no purpose. We don't want to live anymore. All kinds of things they were saying. But once COVID passed and life became normal, they went on doing their things. Maybe yes, they still remember the lost people. But then they have to carry on with their lives. That's what happens. So, dispassion has to be mature. It means once it comes, it should not go. This coming and going dispassion is no real dispassion. You come to ashram, you feel very detached and dispassionate. Step out, again you are back to all the passion and attachments. That is immature dispassion. That is not the real dispassion. Real vairagya should happen in such a way that once it happens forever. Again and again it does not keep swinging between one day attached, one day detached. That kind of idea should not happen. So that kind of maturity you develop in your dispassion and take refuge in such a mature dispassion. That way you will give up all the desires and you will be happy after that. You won't desire for anything any further. So that is the idea. In our Kathopanishad, very beautifully, our Nachiketa refuses all the offerings of Yama. Yama, the Lord of Death, tempts him with all kinds of offerings, saying that ask me for anything I'll give you, but don't ask me about the secret of life and death. Because once I reveal that, then I cannot catch hold of you. My job is lost. Yama is only for those, death is only for the ignorant. For the wise ones, there is no death. So Yama only can ensnare ignorant people. So he does not want to let the secret out. So he doesn't want to tell Nachiketa what happens after death and how the soul is immortal and body only dies. He doesn't want to tell all this to Nachiketa. So he says a lot of things to him. That take this, take that, take this, take that. I will give you, as much land, as many lives as many years you want to live, I will allow that. As many children, grandchildren, wealth, music, dance, damsels, anything you ask for, I will give you. But don't ask me about what happens after death. And is death real or unreal? Don't ask me about that. He says, and then this little Nachiketa replies so beautifully. He says, Shobhava martasya yadanta kaitad. Oh death, oh Lord of death, the ender of everything. Shobhava. Shobha means tomorrow. Abhava means non-existent. Those things that you talk to me about, they won't be existent tomorrow, I know. Because you are the ender of everything. You will end these also one day. For all the mortals, martasya, Shobhava, all the things of the world which is mortal world, everything is mortal, it will all end. And sarvendriyani jayanti tejaha. And try, you tell me, enjoy the pleasures of the world, use your body to maximize your pleasure experience. But I know this will drain me of all my vitality and energy. I will become a living corpse if I engage in worldly pleasures so very frequently and intensely. It will drain me of all my vigor and vitality. I'll be a sick person. I will be a dead person, like living corpse. I know all this is just fooling me. Api sarvam jivitam alpameva. He says, even otherwise, life is short only. Even if I live for 1,000 years, at the end I am going to die. That's not going to be permanent. Therefore, tavaiva vahas tavanitya. Keep all your music, dance, the vehicles, and all the pleasures that you are promising me. Keep it to yourself. I do not want it. Because at the end of it, none of this is going to last. You are the ender of everything. You will end these also. In fact, over the 1,000 years that you are promising me, I would only suffer. Because my indriyas would be all drained of all the energy and vitality. I'll be sick and old and suffering. I will not be able to remain young and strong because I have used all my energy to seek pleasures. How many young people I see? They look like 50-year-old. Dark circles, cheekbones, such emaciated, so weak looking, no charm, no tejas, no joy, no vigor, no vitality. Why? All the time smoking, drinking, making merry, pleasures. Full time, they're addicted to it. They're so addicted that now there are programs to de-addict them from these ideas. Not just alcoholism, substance abuse, even from the other pleasures, carnal pleasures, so difficult. In America, I was going through, the major issue with teens is this now. They're so addicted to sensual pleasures that just can't overcome them. And they get so used to it that without that they think they have no identity, they have a problem. And they get into some kind of a mental state of anger and frustration if they're told not to engage with things. And they get angry. And then they take substances to calm themselves down, some kind of delirium they want to get into. And then that one thing leads to another. Then they want money for it, they don't get it, then they steal. Then that leads to juvenile crime issues. And then the whole life is lost. When I met one of the judges in Atlanta, she was telling me, she is a judge in a juvenile court. She was telling my heart breaks when I look at these youngsters in teens against whom I have to pronounce verdicts to arrest them or to jail them or to put them in a rehabilitation home because they just don't know what they're doing with their lives. They're stuck in a quagmire. They don't know how to get out of it. So bad it is. I said, you don't worry, not just America, not just Atlanta or wherever you are. It is across the world. I went to Brazil, I went to Argentina, same story. Youngsters, 12 years, 13 years, 15 years, getting into all kinds of nonsense, getting arrested. I went to Far East also and saw the same issues. In India also it exists. So my whole question is, how do you put these youngsters on the right path? Because naturally, Indriyas are like that, very strong. They will pull you in all directions. It's very difficult to resist the temptations of the senses. They are designed like that. Paranchikhani vritran swayambhu. They are designed to run behind sense objects. So how to help them turn them inwards and think of higher goals in life, especially during Brahmacharya ashram when they need to focus on learning and building a career and gaining some skills. That is a very dangerous trend. That is the largest, I think the biggest danger that the world is facing today. It has a huge population of youngsters. They are so deluded and distracted. They are so lost. And they just don't know. They just live day to day. And today's day is over. Today you spent it in seeking pleasures. Somehow you put yourself to sleep. You wake up and start all over again. It's kind of an addiction. So the idea is that this Trishna, the desire is the bondage. There are no desires, there is no bondage. Desire is the reason for all the bondage. So only when somebody matures in their dispassion and detachment, then only desires end. This temporary detachment that happen is not going to help. So our Yamadharmaraja says, Na pratibhati, na samparaya pratibhati balam. For the kids, this does not reveal itself. Balam, which kids? Spiritual kids who don't have dispassion and detachment, who fall for every small temptation, who get distracted every now and then. For such people, this truth does not reveal itself to them because they don't deserve it. na samparaya. They cannot understand it. Pratibhati. So therefore, it does not really reveal to whom? Balam, to the kids on the spiritual path. And what pramadhyante vittamohena mudam, because they get into this dangerous road of vittamoha, of desire for wealth. Wealth means everything, women, wine, everything, all the blues added. They get very tempted by these things. They are very quickly attracted by this, like children getting attracted by magic shows. And ayam loko nasti paraiti mani, and thinking that this world alone exists and there is nothing beyond this. So enjoy as much, as they call it the YOLO generation, you only live once. So you want to maximize your pleasure seeking in this world because you think this is the end of the road and after that you will never get back here. So just maximize as much as you can enjoy. Life is a party. That kind of attitude those who have, what happens to them? Punah punah vashama padjate me. They again and again come under my control. Means I decide their fate. They'll die and they'll be born again. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathareshayanam. This is what is their fate. They'll be born again, they'll die again, they'll be born again, they'll be die again, and they'll be entering new wombs of new mothers, and life will continues go on like that for them. There's no end, there's no redemption for them. So that is what happens to those who are immature in their dispassion, balam. Whereas he says, prauda vairagya you should develop superior kind of detachment, permanent detachment, a mature sense of detachment, which comes after you have thoroughly analyzed the ways of the world. After you have spent time on scriptures like this, you stay in the company of the right kind of people and you engage in right kind of activities so that your mind has no time, your senses and body has no time to engage in other kind of activities because they are so busy. Why do I keep the schedule so tight? I know 10 minutes you leave them, their mind and bodies will go in the wrong places. Keep them so busy that they are just exhausted by end of the day. Still they manage to make mischiefs. Imagine if it is all free and no rule, no regulation, you come at your own time, you go at your own time, you study as you want, you don't study when you don't want. It would have been such a mess. That is what is happening in most of the places. Because there is no sense of discipline. So this discipline is like Bhagavan used to say, tying a stick to a small plant so that it grows straight. But once it grows straight and becomes a tree, you don't need to tie any stick to it. Likewise, these disciplinary measures are very important to keep our minds and bodies on the straight path. Otherwise, it keeps distracted. Very quickly, it will get distracted. When we started this institution, as I said, naturally, people who were living here, they were used to a certain way of life. Only men were there were no women. This was very easy comparatively. No distraction. Na rahega baas, na bajegi basuri dese. No bamboo, no basuri. But now bamboo has come, so basuri also are starting. All kinds of tunes. So that became my problem. Then elders took offense. They said, Swamiji, you're messing up the whole thing. You're mixing up men, women and crowds. Now youngsters are working with youngsters. They still don't have stability, maturity. They'll all end up in a mess. And we did go through some mess in the beginning because it was just new. And then slowly we put more strictness, rules, discipline. Also spiritual growth helped people to behave themselves. But still, you can never trust your mind. Mind is very, very tricky. Today it appears it can act up like it's all mature today in its dispassion and detachment. But tomorrow it can just fall like Vishwamitra for Menaka. Anything can happen. So you have to be very careful. That is why Nishita Duratyaya Durgam Pathaha. This is like walking on the razor's edge. Because you want to keep your mind in control and steadiness. Very difficult. It is like walking on the razor's edge. But then don't give up is what the scriptural call is. Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapya, Varanibodhata. Don't give up, don't give up. Don't give up. Because if you give up, then there is no future, there is no hope. Falling is okay, but keep walking, keep walking. Charai Veti says our Upanishad. Keep walking, keep walking. That is our scriptural truth. So this is the idea that keep pushing each other, help each other, keep walking forward. Don't. And I said everything happens at the right time. There is a time for everything. If you do things, right thing at the wrong time or wrong thing at the right time, it is not going to get results. Right thing at the right time alone gives results. So at your age, do age appropriate activities. When your age changes, accordingly activities change. So different age group should behave accordingly, according to the ashrama dharma. That's why ours was very clear. Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasa. 4 ashram dharmas are there. Stick to it, they said. If you are an ordinary, general, run-of-the-mill human being who does not have some high aspirations for spiritual development, like Shankaracharya who left his home at 8 years and became a sannyasi, then follow the regular route. What is the route? Brahmacharya, behave like brahmachari. Grihastha, behave like grihasti. Vanaprastha, become renunciate. Sannyasa, become a detached person totally. Whatever is it. This has to be followed. But our scriptures also give you the liberty. If from brahmacharya you straight away want to jump to sannyasa, very well, they will bless you for that also. Because ultimate goal is reaching sannyasa and moksha. Moksha does not happen without sannyasa. So whether you are a married person or unmarried, finally you have to enter sannyasa ashrama. Without that you will not attain moksha. So finally you have to enter sannyasa ashrama. Now tell me, for whom it is more difficult to enter sannyasa ashrama? The one who had no relationships, or the one who has plenty of relationships and has to get rid of it to enter sannyasa ashrama? For whom the life is going to be easy? Less luggage, more comfort. The grihasthas find it very difficult to enter vanaprastha sannyasa because they are so attached. When this baby happens, I want to see my grandson. Grandson, I will see grandson. It goes on. One goal after the other. So they find it very difficult to enter vanaprastha sannyasa. Whereas from brahmacharya, who is filled with such pure thoughts because of the scriptures, if the brahmachari decides to enter sannyasa, it is easier. But if he goes into the mela of the world and then tries to exit this chakravyuha, it is much more difficult for them. So it depends on your intention, your mumukshutva, your desire for liberation. If it's very intense and strong, naturally you will jump from sannyasa, so brahmacharya straight to sannyasa. Why should you go through? It's like you enter and again you exit. Why should you enter and exit? Rather not enter and go straight, isn't it? That is the idea. Like people used to go from Puttaparthi to Bangalore, Whitefield. Buses used to travel. In between they used to stop at Chikbalapur for a washroom break and some snack break like that. Once they enter the snack break hotel, they don't come back to the bus at all. The teacher has to go 3 times. Enough, how much you are eating? Let's get to the bus because buses are leaving. But there were some gluttons. Still the last one will be pushing something into their mouth. One more pakoda, one more bhaji. Bus is honking, everybody is shouting, come in, we are leaving. Enter, exit, that is the problem. We enter, we don't know how to exit. That is the problem with the grihastha and vanaprastha ashrama. Of course, it is needed for the world to go on and things like that. But you are only promoting the cause of a dream, population replacement in the dream. For a jnani, how does it matter, you tell me? All these economics, does it matter for a jnani? All the GDPs, does it matter for a jnani? In the way, even the misery and pleasures don't matter for the jnani. Which country is attacking whom, it doesn't matter for the jnani, it doesn't matter. But yet he behaves because like a child who does not understand, the parent also becomes a child to make the child understand. Jnani also behaves like a jnani amongst a jnani to help them rise to their standards. What Bhagavan said, I come down to your level so that I can raise you to my level. Like if you pick up a child, how do you pick up a child from the floor? You have to bend, isn't it? Child won't jump up to your arms. You have to bend low and lift the child up to your arms. Likewise, a jnani bends low into the samsara, opens schools, colleges, hospitals, Annapurna, this, that, ashrams, gives jnana, wisdom, so that it is like bending low to lift that ajnani up. That is the idea. So don't compare and don't get confused. For me, I will engage with whatever is required. I will be the hardest taskmaster when it comes to that. Next moment I can drop it all like a hot potato because it doesn't matter to me. Ramana Maharshi says, who am I to inquire? Somebody died. Who died, he asked. Who died? My uncle died. Who died? My uncle. Who died, he asked. Soul does not die. Body of the uncle died. Okay, that is the right answer. Soul does not die. So who died? One man was there. He was very sad. He went to a guru and said, I'm very, very sad. The guru said, you sit down and inquire who is sad. He said, I am sad. No, that is what I am saying. Inquire thoroughly who is really sad in you. Then he inquired, he said, oh yes, I am the soul, I am the Atman, I cannot be sad. So I am no more sad. He became very happy, went to the Guru and told, Guruji, I am happy now. He said, inquire who is happy. You are still deluded. Yes, you got rid of sadness because you thought, oh, sadness is not the nature of the self. Satchidananda is the nature of the self. So, I am not sad. But now you are happy, you are saying. But who is happy again? It's your mind only. You are associated with your mind, the ego identity. Real Atman has neither sadness nor happiness. Ananda is the state beyond Nanda and Ananda. I said the happiness and sadness. Beyond there is a state of steadiness. That steadiness is Ananda. That is what you should desire for. So the idea is that our scriptures are guiding light. See, these are not given to everybody. not given to everybody to know. How many billions of people in the world just living in an ignorant way. Even if I tell them, they won't understand. Na samparaya. They won't understand how much ever I explain to them. But you all have been prepared, not only in this institution, lifetimes of preparation this is. This is all culmination of all that preparation. Now at this final juncture, don't get distracted for petty little things. As I said, if you get attached to anybody or develop some kind of a desire, develop that X-ray vision. Whom are you loving, you ask yourself. I love somebody. Whom are you loving? Body, the mind, but they are not permanent. Body will change. Will your love disappear? If tomorrow, she'll or he or somebody meets with an accident, develops some kind of incurable disease or something which is ugly, ruins the face, ruins the body, you think love will continue? No, it's all your imagination. So if it's destined to happen to you, whatever has happened to you, it will come at the right time. It's the right time, right things will yield right results. Otherwise it won't. So stay steady, stay on the path. And you have an ashrama dharma, simple as that. Just draw the line based on the ashrama dharma. Khatam. No need of worrying about it. This is my ashrama dharma. In this ashrama dharma, is this permitted? No. Then that should not be, that's it. Well, if I am entering the next ashram dharma, then I will work on it. Isn't it? You are in 6th class, behave like a 6th class boy. Why you want to behave like a 12th class boy? Like that, age appropriate behavior. That also is a part of your spiritual discipline. So be steady on this path, because if you lose this steadiness, you will fall, because you are walking on the razor's edge. Little focus is lost, you will cut yourself. So that is very important. The other choice is don't walk and suffer forever. Punarapi janam, punarapi maranam, that is your choice. Then I cannot help you. I can only help those who are willing to let me help them. Like a patient does not come to the hospital, how can doctor help the patient? Patient has to come to the doctor in the first place, or allow the doctor to examine him in the first place. Only then something can happen. If you don't even allow me to examine and diagnose and treat, how can I help you on this Bhavaroga thing? I cannot help you. So you have to open the door and let me in. That is the idea of spiritual path. But as I said, none of this we can achieve by ourselves. I am thoroughly convinced about it, because I have achieved, whatever I have achieved is by Bhagwan's grace, or by the grace of God, whichever God at whatever time helped me with, whichever, or the great yogis and sannyasis who came and gave me right tips at the right time. Because of that only whatever is happening. So alone you cannot achieve any of these things. You have to pray to God, you have to do your sadhana, you have to surrender to a guru, you have to read the scriptures, you have to follow the austerities and discipline. Only then you will be able to achieve it. Even Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa himself said, when I thought I had done it all by myself, it was all gone. And I fell for it. So there is no guarantee for this mind. So therefore, be steady, and as Bhagavan says, study to be steady. Whether you study your subject, you study your scriptures, it is to develop this equanimity and steadiness. And remember, yes, we have all the relationships, all wealth, health, everything is necessary only for attaining moksha. If the purpose is anything other than that, and you give me an excuse, I have lived a righteous life, but nevertheless I lived a selfish life, am I eligible? I'll say no. What about those who have lived unrighteous lives? Are they eligible? Of course, no. Both are not eligible. Even if you lived a righteous life of dharma, but it is a selfish righteousness, even then you will not attain moksha. That is the idea. There is a vachana. There is a vachana that is going to sing, and it is very, very dear to me. I often ask for this, because it says that the idea of Tvameva Mata Pita Tvameva. So if you don't have any parents, God is your parents. Even if you have parents, God only is the parent. That is the idea. So I tell everybody, please repeat every day to yourself, Tvameva Mata cha Pita Tvameva, because you are the Bandhu, you are the Sakha, you are the Vidya, you are the Dravinam, means Artha, Sarvam Mamadeva Deva. You alone are everything. All other things are fleeting ones, they will come and go. But you alone are everything in the real terms. That reminder is this bhajan, which says, what is it? Sakala Nanage, Nine Shri Hariye. To me, you Hari means, O divine, O Lord, you alone are everything to me. My mother, father, my friends, my relations, my wealth, my everything is you. That is the bhajan.
ಸಕಾಲವೆನಗೆ ನೀನೇ ಶ್ರೀಹರಿಯೇ ಸಕಾಲವೆನಗೆ ನೀನೇ ಶ್ರೀಹರಿಯೇ ಸಕಲವೆನಗೆ 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 ನೀನೇ ಶ್ರೀಹರಿಯೇ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ಸ್ವಹಿತಾತ್ಮನು ನೀನೇ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ಸ್ವಹಿತಾತ್ಮನು ನೀನೇ ಬಂಧು ಬಳಗ ಸರ್ವಾತ್ಮನು ನೀನೇ ಬಂಧು ಬಳಗ ಸರ್ವಾತ್ಮನು ನೀನೇ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ಸ್ವಹಿತಾತ್ಮನು ನೀನೇ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ಸ್ವಹಿತಾತ್ಮನು ನೀನೇ ಬಂಧು ಬಳಗ ಸರ್ವಾತ್ಮನು ನೀನೇ ಬಂಧು ಬಳಗ ಸರ್ವಾತ್ಮನು ನೀನೇ ದೈವ ಗುರು ಕುಲಗೋತ್ರನೂ ನೀನೇ, ಕಾವ ಕರುಣ ಸೂತ್ರಾಂತನು ನೀನೇ, ಸಕಲವಿನಗೆ ನೀನೇ ಶ್ರೀಹರಿಯೇ, ಸಕಲವಿನಗೆ ನೀನೇ ಶ್ರೀಹರಿಯೇ, ಸಕಲವಿನಗೆ ನೀನೇ ಶ್ರೀಹರಿಯೇ. ಮಹಿಪತಿ ಮನೋಹರ ಮೂರ್ತಿಯು ನೀನೇ, ಮಹಿಪತಿ ಮನೋಹರ ಮೂರ್ತಿಯು ನೀನೇ, ಸಾಹ್ಯ ಸಕಲಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾರಥಿ ನೀನೇ, ಸಾಹ್ಯ ಸಕಲಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾರಥಿ ನೀನೇ, ಮಹಿಪತಿ ಮನೋಹರ ಮೂರ್ತಿಯು ನೀನೇ, ಸಾಹ್ಯ ಸಕಲಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾರಥಿ ನೀನೇ, ಸಾಹ್ಯ ಸಕಲಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾರಥಿ ನೀನೇ, ಸಾರಥಿ ನೀನೇ, ಸಕಲವಿನಗೆ ನೀನೇ ಶ್ರೀಹರಿಯೇ, ಸಕಲವಿನಗೆ ನೀನೇ ಶ್ರೀಹರಿಯೇ. ದ್ರವ್ಯ ಧನವು ಸಕಲಾಶ್ರಯ ನೀನೇ, ದ್ರವ್ಯ ಧನವು ಸಕಲಾಶ್ರಯ ನೀನೇ, ದಿವ್ಯಾಲಂಕೃತ ಭೂಷಣ ನೀನೇ, ದಿವ್ಯಾಲಂಕೃತ ಭೂಷಣ ನೀನೇ, ದ್ರವ್ಯ ಧನವು ಸಕಲಾಶ್ರಯ ನೀನೇ, ದ್ರವ್ಯ ಧನವು ಸಕಲಾಶ್ರಯ ನೀನೇ, ದಿವ್ಯಾಲಂಕೃತ ಭೂಷಣ ನೀನೇ, ದಿವ್ಯಾಲಂಕೃತ ಭೂಷಣ ನೀನೇ, ಭಾಸುತ ಬಾಹ್ಯಾಂತರ ಧ್ವನಿ ಹರಿನೇ,
सर्वसुगुण सिन्धवे सकल सुजन बन्धवे सर्वसुगुण सिन्धवे सकल सुजन बन्धवे गुरवे मधुसूदनाय मन्त्रमङ्गलम् सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय मन्त्रमङ्गलम् दीनदुःखितपोषकाय दानधर्मप्रेरकाय दीनदुःखितपोषकाय दानधर्मप्रेरकाय सर्वलोकहितरकाय सर्वमङ्गलम् सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय मरुतमङ्गलम् वेदनादवर्धकाय विश्वशान्तिस्थापकाय वेदनादवर्धकाय विश्वशान्तिस्थापकाय ब्रह्मज्ञानबोधकाय दिव्यमङ्गलम् सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय मरुतमङ्गलम् सदय हृदयराजिताय सुमनसदनशङ्कराय सदय हृदयराजिताय सुमनसदनशङ्कराय शरणमुक्तिकारणाय मोक्षमङ्गलम् सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय मरुतमङ्गलम् सत्यसायिनप्रियाय सत्यप्रेमविग्रहाय सत्यसायिनप्रियाय सत्यप्रेमविग्रहाय नित्यशुद्धनिर्मलाय नित्यमङ्गलम् सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय दिव्यमङ्गलम् सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमङ्गलम् ॐ जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्तजना संरक्षक भक्तजना संरक्षक पतिमहेश्वर ॐ जय जगदीश हरे शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपते स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपते आश्रित कल्पलतीका आश्रित कल्पलतीका आपद्बाधवा ॐ जय जगदीश हरे मातपिता गुरुदेवं मरियन्तयु नीवे स्वामी मरियन्तयु नीवे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नागेन्द्रशयन ॐ जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप ओजस्वियो साई महादेव सद्गुरु साई महादेवा मंगलहारति अंधुको मंगलहारति अंधुको मंगल गिरिधारी ओम जय जगदीश हरे नारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण नारायण ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण नारायण ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण नारायण ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा ओम शांति 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 समस्त लोक सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोक सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोक
जय बोलो सद्गुरु श्री मधुसूदन साई जी की जय।